Okay, Black Friday. Back down here at the shop to work on my brother-in-law's truck. Normally we would be off riding, playing in the dirt, but it's way too muddy today. It's raining. So today my goal is to try to get this bed panel off right here. This is off a 68 model, but we're going to fill the hole in on the light right there and make this bed panel work. Got the bolts soaking, had them soaking overnight, and going to try to get this removed. That'd be a major accomplishment for today. Get that and the tail light off the back, and get this bed moved out of here, get it out of the way. Mike's going to try to get the brakes done, where we can get the drums back on it, get the wheels on it where it's mobile, where we can move it around. Goals for today would be to get it moved back where we can get the doors open, get the seat out, get the gas tank out, and he's going to work on the brakes while I'm doing this stuff. And I may hook to it with a puller, weld me in some plates right here on this area where it's supposed to be the furthest out. Weld me a little plate right there, take the pulling ram and pull on this some where I can hit this inner fender. It's all bent up right here. I'm going to hit that and try to get that knocked back up in place a little before I remove the fender on this side. Realized when I got the door open, it was jammed. When I got the door open, realized that the door is bent in here. At some point, that's going to have the door panel taken off, straighten all that right there. A little bit more than what I was expecting, but anyway, it's always part of it. You always find out stuff that you didn't know you were going to have to do. And if I could get this cab corner hammered out today, that would be a great accomplishment too. Maybe a little optimistic on what we can get done. These old rusty bumper bolts, try to get them cut off, or we can get this back bumper off, and that would be major. Here's the old bed panel that we took off, and I'm going to try to use a little section out of it to make my patch where that light is on the other one. And I kind of stomped it out a little bit when I got it back down on the ground, stomped it out a little. You know, that could actually be straightened and used if you wanted to do some shrinking. I'm not really too fond of, don't really want to do it, but could. And this old bed panel on this side could be used too if we wanted to do away with the spare tire. We're going to put it in the barn and save it because he wants to keep this thing with the spare tire on the outside of it, which is his prerogative. It's his truck. But I would say hang on to that bed panel right there because somebody might want it someday. But if Mike can get the brakes put on today, that would be huge. Would like to get it fired up today. I got my gas tank here, and we may just get some gas line and an electric pump and just try to see if we can get this thing to fire over. Set the timing right on it. I believe the distributor was just stuck down in there and wasn't timed right. I don't know that for a fact, but we're going to maybe piddle with that a little after a while. But stay tuned. Thanks for stopping by and tuning in. We always appreciate when people watch what we're doing. Got a lot of hopes for this, to get this truck out and get it back on the road for my brother-in-law. But it doesn't come without a price, and it takes a little effort, a little sacrifice. You have to get out here. You have to take your spare time and work on stuff. Here's the fenders that we've gotten to replace the front fenders with. Both of them's going to have a little work, but they're not near as bad as what we got. And I believe we can manage that. The blue one's got a little rust in the corners on it, but we can cut and make patches. And on this inner fender right here, on the drinker side, you got a hole right there that you could throw a chicken through under the battery. And we may have to either get an inner fender for that side or make a patch for that, which wouldn't be that big of a deal. But anyway, stay tuned, see what we got going today. And I'm going to try to video some throughout the day as we make progress and give you an update. All right, we're making some major progress. We got the back fender off the bed. Got the bed loaded back on Mike Vice's trailer, and he's going to make a shooting house out of it. He's going to take it down there in the woods where he can be a deer slayer. Turning this 68 model into a 67.
Well, it's probably down right here. Yeah, that's knotted up right there. Hold up over here, tap.
Yeah, I've got my dolly right there.
Okay. Right there. Tag right there at that number.
It fell out. I'm gonna get this step stool over here on this anvil. The step on the anvil. Do a little work on it. Gotta get it flattened on out a little. I offered my daddy $1,000 for this anvil. This was his dad's anvil. His dad was a blacksmith. And this was my papa's anvil that he used blacksmithing. Back through the years, Dad's had several people try to buy this thing from him. Yeah. Should be able to get on all the bolts right there. I believe right there. So we'll get the hood. We get the hood pulled off. Get the fender started coming off. Get take all these bolts right now and put them in the bed on my magnetic tray. Come on, just stripped the rusted. It came then. Front wheels seem to turn a whole lot easier than the back ones did. Lets me know that they probably been rebuilt probably within 20 years or so. They coming off fairly easy. I hope that this comes off as easy as I think it's going to. Easy peasy. Not a problem. But pad is in pretty bad shape, so it was not replaced like I thought it was. You can see it's fairly old looking in there. Gonna put new wheel cylinders on and new brakes, front and rear. These two front ones turned a whole lot easier than the back ones did. The back ones was nearly impossible to get off. We had to hit around on them a little. The other side over here, it had dirt dauber's nest. It's weird how they get up in there and build dirt dauber's nest, but we've ordered kits that comes with all new springs and everything that we need to rebuild these. Probably repack the bearings and put them back together with new wheel cylinders, new rubber hoses. These rubber hoses get really dry. That one's hard as a rock right there. And what's fun about this is trying to get these off right here. But I'm gonna put some penetrating oil on them, let them sit. This side right here has been replaced. I can tell this is not the same as the other side was. The shoes look fairly good on it.
Get my finger out of the way.
Yeah, that's all right. Fire and hose. Come on. I like it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Having them distributor in the right spot.
It's all in the fire.
Okay, end of the day, Black Friday. All we've got accomplished is we got the hood off, got the inner fenders out on both sides on the front. We got one wheel cylinder built, got the rear bumper off, got the bed out of here and got the bed panel off and converted it from a 68 model to a 67 model and did away with the side marker lamp. Hammered around on this old step a little bit. And boy, it's rough. We got to smash pretty hard right there and still fold it up pretty bad. Don't know that I can straighten that. I may cut the corner out of this one and weld into this one, or I may just shorten that blue one and slice a section out of it to make it like this one. It would require cutting it into 3 pieces and stitching it all back together, which would be quite a bit more work. But we got the hood off, got a pretty good little dent on the front of it we're gonna have to work out. And I may wind up cutting a section out of it like I did on that rear fender. I may just try to cut into this and straighten some of that out. There's so many folds in it. I ain't made my mind what I'm gonna do yet. Grind it down, maybe try to pull it with a little pull bar thing we got, where you weld little things to it and pull on it. I may try that. versus knocking holes in it with a punch and jerking it out with a jerk bar. Crank the engine today. Fires right up. Was able to get the engine to fire. Got me one of those little remote switches where I could try to do this. Put a little bit of fuel. Put a little bit down in the bowl. And it fires right up. He's gonna have to get a carburetor though. He's gonna have to get him a carburetor, but it's good to know that it'll fire up and it actually doesn't sound too rattly on the top end. So we did accomplish something today. And that's the main thing, is to keep moving forward. I wanted to be able to get it back on its wheels today where I could get it and roll it around. I need to get the seat out and to get the fuel tank out where we can clean it out or see if we're gonna have to have one. It's not pumping any fuel up through the fuel line right there. And I'm not sure that the fuel pump ain't bad. And the lines may be stopped up, I'm sure. But next thing is to get these fenders off and get the seat out, get the fuel tank cleaned out, and maybe we'll get some of that done in the next few days. But we got one cylinder, one wheel built all day long. But got a little bit done.